This was my favorite uniform of all 6 years I marched. This is my favorite one. I liked what they did to it with the tilt and the connect noise and all that stuff, but like I loved the blue. I love like the teal sash. I thought it was so slick looking.
Yeah, I had originally joined for, well, for other reasons too, but for the super suits, right? The 10 through 12. So like I love those, but then the new ones, I'd always wanted to wear a cape too.
I remember putting on for the first time and just feeling so classy. I remember that when I put the uniform on in 2011, I felt just like a superhero. But this one, I felt like a classy version of that, like sophisticated.
Went on our Facebooks and like stalked our Facebooks a little bit. This was back when Facebook was like the only thing that people used, and kind of like got our personalities and like went. I think it was Greg Lagola that like went with John and Jim and like picked out outfits for everybody based on measurements and all that kind of stuff. So that was interesting to find out as we're being handed our uniforms.
Yeah, I'd say initially I had some skepticism when we first learned about the concept. But the show really did kind of take a on a life of its own as the season went on. And once this show started coming together more and more, we kind of realized that it wasn't this cheesy Americana show, that you could take so many messages away from it that you wanted to, but really it was just more of an aesthetic.
I mean, the biggest difference was that I don't think we started with drill charts, if I remember correctly. Um, I think we started in the field house at Denison and it was called staging block for the first time. Had zero choreography for the beginning, and we were like, these are wooden bleachers in front of us. What is going on?
So there was a lot of really cool experimentation going on, like moving props. You can sort of see the DNA of the experimentation. Like it started in 2013 and had some limitations, mainly due to how difficult they were to move around. And then in the later years, 2014, basically through today, it's just been getting better and better, like the integration of the props in the show.
They were completely wooden, um, which because obviously otherwise we would be burning ourselves literally in Texas on metal bleachers. So they were wooden painted metallic gray, so that they looked like real bleachers. So they were and they weren't. Um, the thing that was said literally every block was, you can't make it look like they're heavy. Between 2012 and 2013, like it was a completely new design team. It was also Dean Westman's first year, as well. So it was like the entirety of what makes the Bluecoats design team up now has essentially, this was their first year.
My favorite part of the show was at the very beginning, after the initial impact, when we had the four sections of like the four sections of the drum corps, the four sections of the horn line going in different directions on the corners of the field, playing four different parade tunes at the exact same time. But Doug Thrower, being a genius that he is, made it all work out harmonically together, and still have where everything's going on to kind of give you a weird eerie feeling.
that in hindsight, like at the time, I don't think I appreciated that, but now, you know, five years later, when I watched through it, you know, one year, I like, it really hit me like, wow, that was really cool. But on the field at the time, like, definitely, I was just, you know, holding on, like, I don't know if this sounds good, but we're playing it.
And all the horn line things were in like different meters as well.
Yeah.
So I know that was like, as the one lone music major in the color guard, I was like, it's just here, like just listen to this, and they were like, no, it's not. So that was rough. But I know from a timing perspective, color guard 2, they had weapon line tosses down the line to the balloon on the 50, and that also just never felt good.
I also thought the most exciting part of the show was city life. That little part of the show was super fun. It's also really hard. We also had a nickname for it called
I
life.
heard that. I heard that slip. I started laughing
That
over
slipped
here.
a little
I
bit.
was like, I knew it was going to come up.
But you know, I thought that was really exciting. I have never had a harder drill than that ever in my life, thanks to John Vanderkolk, than that section right there. But Denison, I just remember that year we ran in the horn line a lot, like a lot. I remember I could run a 5K like in 23 minutes when I came back from tour that year because of Johnny Moe taking us on those hills over and over and over again every single day.
I hate running. I still hate running. But I mean, if we wouldn't have done that, I mean, city life, even at the end of the season, Like I was barely holding on through that entire song with all that conditioning. So it was totally necessary, but not fun at the time.
From a physical standpoint, that was an extremely difficult show to just survive. I felt like every run through we did was a question of survival. And it was the demands, the pacing of the show, the way the drill was written. Just there's no other way to do it than to just be all physical all the time. And me having never done drum corps at all before, not knowing what kind of physical nature that was going to be, that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks.
It helped set up the future and the success of 2014, 2015, 2016. There was like a bunch of great people. Like in 2016, there was a bunch of like 4-year vets that aged out the year because they were rookies, and they got beat a little bit in 2013, and they were really strong because of it, because that show was hard. And that summer was not easy at all.
That's definitely like the pivotal. There was the before 2013, and then there was the after 2013 Bluecoats. And that summer was the catalyst in between. You know, it's John and Jim's opportunity to kind of get their fingers in things and start. I also think from a membership perspective, that summer beat us up a lot, but I think it also helped a lot of us, especially that weren't age outs, that were able to go on and continue marching after that. Damn, if I got through 2013, I can get through anything. We got to 2014, and the show was, from a member perspective, was like, this is so easy. The pacing and everything was so much more efficient, and we gave exactly the right amount of payoff for relatively, compared to 2013, a lot less physical exertion and work.
Even during the season, I realized it wasn't a huge hit with audiences, but I kind of didn't care because I felt like we as a core actually really connected and enjoyed the show. So it really became less about just having the best show and more about performing the show with others. But I do often see, like even now, people on forums just saying, hey, you know what? 2013 Bluecoats was a really good show. And every time I see that, I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah, it was. Thank you.
For the 2023 rookies is you are much stronger than you think you are. And if the staff and the admin staff included, if they did not think that you could do this, they would not have offered you a contract. You are where you are because of who you are, and you don't have to be anybody else, but you are stronger than you think. And your body starts like telling you to stop at about 60% of your capacity so you can keep going.
I think from my angle, I'll give the standard, take more pictures, keep a journal. You will forget probably 90% of everything you did because you'll just get in the zone. You get on the bus, you get off the bus. just write stuff down. It'll spark your memory later, and it's definitely worth it.
With that, and so like if I can survive that, and I had a good time doing it, and I can basically do anything after that. I think, you know, if you can make it through it, have a good time while you're marching drum corps, even if it's not what you expected, it's okay. Like, you're having fun, you're with your friends, you're doing the same thing. Everyone's either suffering or being rewarded on the same level as you. We're all having fun, and we're doing band. It's just band. We're having fun, you know.